Hey, welcome back. We're back in Timberborn in our Cavernwood colony. And today we've got more stuff to take a look at all over the colony. They are working on 3 separate large-scale mega projects at once. We've got the dam started. We've got I guess you could say the dirtification, the extra land project that we have going on over here. And then we have the Stackaqueduct. And as you can tell from last time, I've added a couple more. This will be the end height right here, because what's going to happen is we're going to raise up the water here, and it's going to go over, and it's going to go this way down, and then this way down, over, and then out around here. So to do that, we just need to make sure to get the water up there, but we'll go ahead and finish this out as the episode goes on. But for now, I want to start. We forgot about this project last time, so I'm going to take those out. We're going to get an extra water pump here, and we're going to do this. Actually, I need the tiny tubeway station. There we go. One exit there. That goes in there. While we're at it, we might as well go ahead and hook these up too. In fact, what I might just do is let's go ahead and line up some tubeway stations over here in the water. Don't know why I decided to start there. Did I choose the 2 again? I keep choosing the 2, and I don't know why I'm only choosing the 2. There we go. One of those things that's just stuck at the moment. There we go. Is that even? That is even. We'll put in this, and this. And we will go ahead and get these taken across here. I could do this in overhangs, but not going to. So that's just going to be how it is. We're going to do that. There'll be a tiny tubeway station here. We need one here. Tiny tubeway station and here. Do I need... Is there a place that I could just justify connecting these into over here? I mean, if I came across here, will it let me put stuff over these berries? I don't know if berries are... Oh, berries are tall enough. Good to know. I do this, and then I go back the other way. In fact, I'll have to take this out. There we go. We'll do that, and we'll connect the tubeways in here. Let's go ahead and remove these for the tiny tubeway stations. And we'll build here. That doesn't need to be there anymore. That path doesn't need to be there anymore. Oops, those aren't tiny tubeway stations. Those aren't tiny tubeway stations at all. Tiny tubeway station there, there, and there. And then we just need to take this across here. These will all connect in, and we'll connect in over there just as they can. I think we should be okay minus 3 deep water pumps for just a little bit. I think we'll live. Well, let's make sure that gets out of there, because they've got enough building that they might never actually get to that. As you can see over here on the Stackaqueduct in progress, it's mostly just a bunch of copy, paste, same thing over and over and over again. It would sure be nice if there was a blueprint function that you could just copy a section, and then it lets you repeat that section just as much as you needed to. But that's not quite in there yet. In fact, I think there was a mod at one time that might have done something similar, but I think it hasn't been updated in quite a while, if it's been updated at all. Oops. So we just kind of have to do this manually over and over again. Which, this outside section isn't terrible to do. It's just adding in these here. There we go. That's all connected in, and then we just need to keep going up. Hopefully, we can get all of this in here, at least by the end of the episode. I don't know if it'll all be built, but at least the plans will be there. I'm not sure why I've been so adamant about putting this off, but it would be nice to not have to deal with waiting for the kids to grow up anymore. So, tell you what, let's go ahead and do this. We'll keep an eye on our population. If we need turn it down, we can always take out those 4 extra ones over there that we've got. Let's go ahead. We'll just put those in. And then, of course, our extract. Well, our extract isn't doing terrible. Finally, with that one last bad water one, we finally went back into the positive on it. And the extract looks like it's starting to recover now that we're not exploding large portions of the map. So we just kind of wait for everything to recover, and then they'll be good. Oh, I did turn off the wood workshop. Let's turn it back on since we're going to need it to build all of these. Oh, they've already been built. So, well, thanks, guys. We'll fill back up our supply on those. I decreased the working hours, and that gave us a little bit of extra happiness, which is good. That's what we need. I also went through and I turned off temporarily the explosives factory. We have 1,200 explosives, so what I can do is redirect these guys over to our plank factory because we are just low on planks right now. So they've all been moved to there, and hopefully that lets them build the planks that we need to build the couple of things over here. They're working their way across. Oh, look, they've got that out of there. So now we just need whatever size overhang is here. Do I need the 6 on both sides? No, I need a 6 and a 5. That's always bugs me when they're different sizes like that. That's okay. We'll build right through there, connect that into the center. And once they've got that, that should connect to those. And from there, I don't think we're going to need these anymore. So let's go ahead and get these emptied, because they have a direct access pretty much to right over here where the water can go in. In fact, is there not really a place to put an exit there? Is there by the water? No, not per se. That's all right. They'll have to come down and around the ladder. No big deal. We'll just do that. Let's go ahead, get rid of these. We'll say empty you. I mean, I could just load it. They could move it whenever they can. There we go. We'll connect you in maybe across there. There we go. Here. We could honestly just... You know what? I don't want to block that. We'll just keep them at the same sides. Let's go. This can go all the way across here. We'll remove this corn. There we go. That can go all the way over to there, and we'll get 2-way stations in front of each one of these. There we go. One there, one there, there, one there, and one there. And let's go ahead. We'll finish putting these in. We'll go ahead and do 2 ways along the top here. There we go. And then probably do this and add another connection here. 3, and then do I need a 1? There we go. That connects us back in over there, and we've got a pretty extensive 2-way network going there. They just need to finish a couple things. Let's say that this whole thing here is just slightly more important, along with these, and let's get those done as well. There we go. Now we've got the extra ones hooked back in. In fact, as much as I hate to take out this, I'm just going to do it. We're just going to take these out. I don't want them used anymore. There we go. They were good while they worked. But we're going to see if maybe, just maybe, we can get by without them. Now that we've got more downstream that are all set up for... There we go. That are all set up for pulling in water straight into the two-way system so they can pick all those up. Looks like they've got all of the dirt done up here, so I'm going to go ahead and take out this, and we'll take out this, and then this path does not need to be here anymore. There we go. Then we can finish out this here. Just go down here. They can put stuff in. This would have been faster if I would have turned it sideways, wouldn't it? Probably much faster. They don't have to wait constantly on these. They can just put them in whenever they... No, not all of those. Let's get these. There we go. Let's do dirt. Let's turn these this way. There we go. These can all go. And this will be the last part of that. There we go. That looks good. A little bit of water must have dried up after a 30-day drought, but that's not a big deal. We've got a bigger reservoir coming in, so whenever they get to that, that's perfectly fine. Let's take a road down this way. We'll take out this old road. There we go. That can go. And then hopefully, once they get this in, we can start to fill back up with dirt. Not sure what's taking them so long on this. They've got plenty of logs. Are they... Oh, they're just kind of waiting around on all of it. That's fine. That is pretty much done. So, what I think I will do to make sure this goes a little faster is we'll remove this, and then we'll just come up this way. And since the main portion of the building is on this side, just do this. Can I put something on top of this to actually go one platform right here? Oh, I can. Neat. Okay. That's what we'll do. One platform's all the way down. Oh, you know what? I forgot the power in there, didn't I? Well, we'll come up and over. This is definitely not going to be a permanent part of the structure. It's just going to be a temporary to get us by kind of part of the structure. It will help us, hopefully, build this a bit quicker, since they can build everything out of the tubes. We found that out earlier. Once they've got all that in there, we can take that back out, and let's go ahead. Get in. Is that all of those? Nope, I'll need to get those there. So we'll come back and fill in the power portion once they get that done. That's a first. We haven't ran out of water in a very long time. I think it's because we have more beavers than we've ever had before. In fact, we have enough that I can probably safely take out at least 2 of these and not be too worried about it. They are working on this wall. They're working on the dirt here. And then they've got to come up and make this as well. So we'll let them build on that for just a second. And then tell you what, while they're making all of that, we'll go ahead and spend. We've got plenty of extra extract and definitely plenty of dynamite. So we'll see if we can maybe take out some more area here with more dynamite so that we can build eventually some more industry over here, or replace the industry that's over here with industry that's over here. But that's going to be a little while. The drought started in the 33rd cycle. We've got all of our dynamite down here, so we can go ahead and start removing more of that. While that's going, we'll keep the explosions there. But I want to come back and take a quick look at my design for this. Not the overall design, but the design for getting it in is going to have to change, because I noticed this probably is not going to work. because we'll only get to about half of the stuff, which means we won't be able to put in most of the things here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to take these out. We're going to leave that one wheel since it's already in there. Might as well just leave it. And we're going to come down this way. I say right about there. Well, tell you what, we'll go all the way down. Get our tiny tubeway station. We'll put one in here. Let's put one in here. And we'll put one in maybe there. That's good enough. We'll move this one more toward the middle. There we go. Let's grab that. Nope, I want the two-way station. There we go. We'll put you there, and then we just got to connect them in. There we go. And that should let them build just about everything on here, including the floors, everything below them. So it should be able to take care of just about everything. In fact, maybe I got to move this back just a little. You know what? We're just going to make another one. We will just make another one. We'll use the resources, and they can keep on making that. Over here, let's go ahead and get in the 2 dynamites that we're going to need. Of course, we're going to need ladders to get down there. So, there we go. Let's do that. I think we're slightly off from where we were before. Maybe. That's all right. It can still reach. We'll be fine. Let's do the 2 dynamites. There we go. I could leave it at this height because everything on this level matches it just fine. But you know what? I'm going to make sure that we go all the way down to get just the maximum amount of land. Whether we end up using it all or not, that's fine. We'll at least have it this way. So they can go ahead, start to work on that. But what I really want to work on is getting this reservoir set up. And starting with this, we've got 16 and a half days, basically. We could make really good progress on this as long as, well, one, as long as that beaver gets out of there. There we go. We'll take that out of there. We'll take all of these out. We'll go ahead, put in these here. We'll fill it back up. There we go. All the way up. Nope, need one more layer. There we go. Go all the way up there. We'll get our sluices in. Let's do the sluices. There we go. Same thing here. And we'll do one ladder so they can get down there just in case to everything. There we go. And let's put in you. And we'll put in that. And they can go there. That'll look good there. They'll have all of this in. And then we also want to make sure that they're prioritizing this over everything else, because I want that to get done. So let's just make sure that that gets done, because even if we don't get the rest of it, the water will just fall straight down into there. So we'll do that. And then over here, I'm also going to take out a couple of these. Well, there we go. We'll take out a couple of those. We'll grab 3 more sluices. There we go. Got that in there. That's good. And that will provide water for this level when we get the other side in, of course. So they can work on that. And while we're waiting on them to do that, we'll go ahead. Let's take out the roads here. There we go. And we'll actually take this ladder out too, because we're not going to need it. We're not going to need this road anymore. There we go. That looks great. This looks great. And we'll take out this one random block down there, which who knows why that's even there. That looks good. Now let's go ahead and get started on putting in all of these blocks that we're going to need. I don't know why that decided to go all the way over there. That's okay. We'll clean it up here in a second. But we'll get all these in. We should have the lumber for this, or at least pretty close. We have got a ton of lumber. We have got 11,000 lumber. So that should be nearly enough to get this all taken care of. Let's put this in here. We'll do this and this. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. There we go. All this can go. Yep. And Nope, I just want the road on there. Maybe if it selects it. There we go. And let's go ahead. We will fill in all these. There you go. These have got to be 5 high. And one of these days I will test out the portion of the mod that we have that actually lets you go a little bit farther on some of these lines of stuff, but I just have not had time to test it. The reason I haven't is because it says it decreases performance, and I don't know how much performance it decreases, so we'll look into that here. We've got 3 here, and then it looks like we need a 2. There we go. 1, 2 right there. Let's grab one of the roads, if it'll let us, and we'll get that in, we'll get that in. There we go. We'll get all of those. And in fact, let's say that these are a bit higher priority, so that those get built before the stack over there, because I would just like to have that extra water just as a little bit of a backup. So we'll let them work on that, and we'll keep an eye on that as they build. They've got our sluices in here, so that ought to take care of the next bad tide still. And we've already got them set up for the below 1% and the above 1%. There we go. So we good there. They're making their way around the edge. However, as you can see, this project's going a lot slower, and I think it's due to lack of planks. Now, we definitely don't have a lack of logs to make planks, or even logs to power generators, engines that can make planks. So tell you what, we're just going to set up a temporary station over here. We've got a lot of temporary stuff, but hopefully eventually it will switch to more permanent stuff. Let's do, you know what, let's do 4 stations here. We'll do this. Let's get storage. We'll get large. There we go. We've got some of those. You know what? 2 should be fine. We'll set 1 for logs incoming, and we'll set 1 for planks outgoing, and we'll say, hey, this stuff super important so that we can work on other stuff. And also in the meantime, looks like we've got this dynamite in there. Let's take that out of there. We'll even take out these ladders, and we'll get that finished off. There we go. And we'll do this and this. There we go. Let's make this prioritized building so that we've always got things going in there. We'll make this one a prioritized. This doesn't have to be, because I'm sure they'll use those fairly often. And it looks like there's plenty in there. In fact, we've got a couple of extra worker bots. So, tell you what. Actually, did I switch some over here? Are these all back to iron bots? Nope. Let's put the gears back here. I could make more planks with them, but we're just going to switch them out and let them use the appropriate number of beavers on various things. We've got one more bot that we can put somewhere. I guess we could make those. Sure, why not? 2,000, goodness, okay. And somewhere along the line we lost a bot, but that's okay. We'll wait for it to even out. And oh, there's guys making stuff in the centrifuge. Well, I know they just got their new jobs, but they're going to have to come back. So let's do that, and we'll put these bots over in the centrifuge so that we can have extract out of them. What is this tree stump doing here? Why is that there? Let's take that out of there. I don't want that there. That's not going to look good when we build things there. There we go. So with the help of these extra plank factories, which they're working about 16 hours a piece, so that's not terrible, but hopefully that gets us some more planks so they can build along here faster. Maybe it'll get our planks caught up. It might cut through some of our log reserve. As you can see, it's already starting to cut into that. Well, not the planks, probably the reservoir here. But we've got plenty of trees underneath there. We just need them to get all that stuff cut down and regrown so that we can have plenty of lumber. They're going to continue to build over there, but let's just watch this grow. We'll come back and see when they've got most of this in. They've made it to the first tiny tubeway station over here, and as you can see, it's starting to fill out our sections here. It's got a lot of the stuff below for the first two wheels. It's gonna have to put in all the wheels all the way down, but that's okay. It looks like there's one down here. They're not even quite ready yet, but they can get to it all from up here, so we'll just let them go on that. Our little plank station does seem to be helping, but it's taking a toll on the trees. That's okay. This is probably taking a bigger toll on the trees, but we're going to need it. We also need to keep an eye that it doesn't overflow and flood our forest out over here. You know what? We did add this solid tubeway up to the top. However, I think I'm going to go ahead and add some ladders up this way. That way, they can build this from all four sides. In fact, let's say these ladders are super important so that they get those in there. I don't care about those other two, but they'll be fine. And then we'll go ahead and next time we'll try and close this in. I think we might have a good time here to try and bury this tubeway underneath. So we'll see what we can do with that next time as well as hopefully finishing up the aqueduct. And we've got to lift this whole area up to get our fluids here, our bad water, into it. So plenty to do next time, but as always, just want to say thank you very much for stopping by and hope to see you next time.